Good afternoon, Northern Virginia neighbors. Joseph here, your friendly neighborhood junk removal professional, serving all of Northern Virginia. And thank you for coming along with us on our junk removal journey today. We are staying in Stafford, guys. Last job of the afternoon is a gentleman who reached out to us just today. He has not very many items, but some bulky items for sure. A refrigerator, some concrete bird baths, and a few other bits and pieces. I'll show you. Not a big job. But then after that, I'm going to take you with me and I'm going to show you a jacuzzi, and I'm going to share with you what I think about when a customer calls me to provide an estimate on a hot tub slash jacuzzi, because, you know, removing a jacuzzi is definitely a substantial project. I wanted to share this with you, especially you, my Northern Virginia consumer, is because recently I heard a story of a woman here in Northern Virginia who needed her jacuzzi removed. So obviously price is always a consideration. I like to save money. She found someone on a yard sale site online, said they were a pro, said they knew what they were doing, and when they were removing the jacuzzi, they got hurt on the lady's property. This company, if that's what you want to call them, I call them overnighters, actually ended up hurting themselves on the property. They didn't have insurance, and the lady ended up getting into a hassle with her insurance company for hiring non-insured individuals to remove her jacuzzi. So though cost is always a consideration, I told this lady that we're visiting this afternoon that if she doesn't use us, well, we both lose. But if she doesn't use us to ensure that whoever arrives at her home, whoever she chooses to remove her jacuzzi, make sure she sees their insurance certificate. Make sure that they are doing everything legally so that the customer, is covered in case anything goes afoot. And what ended up happening, I guess, is the guys who showed up to remove her jacuzzi didn't test the jacuzzi to ensure if it was connected to power. And it was. The lady didn't think about disconnecting power, and so-called professionals didn't do the basics of jacuzzi removal, didn't follow established safety protocols, and started cutting cables, and someone got electrocuted. I don't think anyone was killed, but guys, if you don't use Vets Haul Junk, I get it. We're not the cheapest, but we are the best. But if you don't use Vets Haul Junk, whoever you use, just be sure that you've seen their insurance. Just be sure that they are insured, and protect yourself. Don't put yourself in a position of liability. So I'm going to show you so you know why sometimes we can't beat, why sometimes Vets Haul Junk cannot beat the rates of these overnighters. Because when you work with Vets Haul Junk, guys, we're a professional. We've done this hundreds of times. We're fully insured. All of our guys are background checked and drug screened. You know what you're getting when we show up, and you're getting true professionals in junk removal. So let's go ahead and knock out this. So this refrigerator here and this wine cooler. This is the jacuzzi we're looking at today, and it's probably a medium large, if that makes any sense. One of the things we're going to look at when we're providing a rate for a jacuzzi is how much styrofoam is on the inside, because the more styrofoam, the more time we're on the project, because we're having to cut through that styrofoam in order to cut hoses and cables and wires. On top of that, how far do you have to carry the pieces of this hot tub to load it onto your rig? And luckily, we don't have far, but typically with these jacuzzis, they're either on the side or the back of the house. We'd have to carry the chunks from here all the way out through the side of the house and then through the front. So we want to keep that in as one of our points of consideration. Something like this, we probably would not be able to roll out because it's heavy. You were right, ma'am. It is definitely heavy. So what that means is that there is a lot of styrofoam on the inside, and I can see it. And with these older models, typically the styrofoam is saturated. It's waterlogged, especially on the older ones, which means you're not going to be able to cut it into larger pieces. We'll have to cut it into smaller pieces. Once again, more time on the project. We always want to ensure that the customer has the electricity disconnected by a licensed electrician or the homeowner. And if it's done by a licensed electrician, then we'd like to see the certificate or the receipt of services by the electrician. And then something like this as well, we also want to look out for snakes too, especially this time of year here in Northern Virginia. I'm going to lift up and we're going to see what the inside looks like. Okay, so it does have a significant amount of water. That's about 8 or 10 inches of water in there. So typically what we would ask the customer to do is to have the waterman removed out of the jacuzzi. So that's what we got going on. So this jacuzzi estimate was our last action for the day. We're heading home after a long junk removal day, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight, especially when you get that rate from the junk removal company, whether it's us or not, and you're wondering, why is it that much, or why is it this or that? So you know the amount of work and effort that goes into removing a jacuzzi. Not just anybody can do it. It's really hard physical labor. For this particular jacuzzi, we may be on site for an hour, hour and a half. There's always that element of danger as well, because this time of year we're dealing with snakes and stuff like that. So, like I said earlier, whether you use Vets Haul Junk or not to remove your jacuzzi, just make sure that whoever you allow on your property to remove your jacuzzi is insured, because that covers you and that covers them. If you have a jacuzzi and you're in Northern Virginia and you just want it gone, reach out to the junk removal company powered by veterans and patriots at 540-657-VETS. That's 540-657-8387. You can also find us online at vetshauljunk.com. That's vetshauljunk.com. I'm Joseph, and we are on the move. Talk to you next time. See ya. Rock me, rock me, rock, rock steady. Rock me, rock me, rock.